today's video, I'm going to show you how to replace the brake pads on a CX-5. It's a Mazda CX-5. This is a 2015 model. The tools you're going to want to have is a lug nut wrench and a jack. Need a 14mm socket and a 19mm wrench, a wire brush, and this disc brake caliper set, and that's to push the piston back into the caliper. And we have some brake pads. These brake pads are Bosch Quiet Cast Premium Disc Brake Kit. I ordered this on Amazon. Actually arrived the same day. I ordered it at 8:30 a.m. It came by 8 p.m. And I have some brake cleaner here. Just do a little cleaning, just some light cleaning. So we'll get started. We'll remove the tire and start removing the brake pads. I almost forgot, we'll need one cold beverage. Okay, I have the tire off. I don't need to show you how to take the tire off. If you don't know how to take the tire off, you can probably find a video somewhere online, or you probably shouldn't be doing this work if you can't do that. So that's the only qualifications. Just using the 14mm socket, these two bolts will come off. Just kind of break them loose. Can loose pretty easily. If this nut spins on the back, you can use this 19mm wrench here to hold it. These don't seem to have that issue, so I'll just remove these by hand. Set this up here, out of the way. Just pops off. So here's the brake pads, and we'll just start removing those. If you pull the top one off, the top part first, break it back, it should come off pretty easy. Just having trouble for some reason there, but we'll get it. So these, pretty worn. These things were long overdue. Every time I got my oil changed, they'd say, "Hey, you need new brake pads." So I'll get to it. So I'm gonna pop these clips off because I have new ones that came with the Bosch set. I think it's recommended to replace them. Depending on the aftermarket brake pads, they could be a little different size. I like to take a small wire brush and just brush out any of the loose rust that's in these grooves, just so they're cleaned out and doesn't bind up. I'm gonna spray a little brake cleaner just on these spots, get the rust off. I'm not doing a thorough cleaning at all. I just like to put a box down here, catch any debris. I should have put that on there earlier, but I forgot. So I've laid out the brake pads. These are the old brake shoes here, and these new ones. So I have new clips that'll clip into the caliper, and then these clips go onto the bottom of the pads themselves, just like on the old ones. They have those clips, so you'll put them in the same place on the new pads. One thing to note is they have, one of these clips will go on the left side and one will go on the right side, or the inner and the outer. Just whichever one fits best. And I'll show you that in a minute. We'll also add some grease. So you'll want to grease all the components that move. That'll keep it from squeaking and everything working properly. Start putting the clips in. These just pop in like this real easily. Just press them down, they'll kind of bind into place and hold them. Next I'm going to grab the outer pad so we can see that, and like I said, orient like this, and the clip will go on the bottom, same as when I took them off. Oh, so this is the orientation they'll go in. So you can see this one actually doesn't fit for this shoe, so I'll grab the other clip and that will fit this way. You can see that it'll line up. So as I place it on the pin, it'll clip into place. So put the brake component lubricant on here. Like I said, just a little bit on these tabs, and I really just like to put it on here mostly. It doesn't take a whole lot. You might want to get an extra pouch of lubricant if you can, because they really don't give you a whole lot. So, because once we put it on the tabs and on the pads, before you put the caliper back on, we'll add more grease to these surfaces as well. Put as much on there as appropriate just to cover it nicely so everything's lubricated. Trick here is to hold this tab in, slide it against these other tabs. They will bend, and just push the pad into place, just like that. Just to show this from a different angle, push it into place. So I'll put the inner pad in. Again, make sure you put the clip on. And these clips, the purpose of them is basically, as the pad wears, then it's the wear clip, and it starts to make noise against the rotor before the brake pad's completely gone and ruins your rotor. So if you're hearing squeaking out of your brakes, it could be just worn pads ready to be replaced. Definitely be editing this one. There we go. Okay, got them both seated against the disc, and they fit rather well. So next part is get the piston ready to put back onto the brake pads. All right, using this disc brake caliper tool. I rented this from O'Reilly's, so it's a pretty good tool versus buying something. So these are probably available at all auto parts stores. This basically pushes the piston back into place, out of the way, so you can have the space for your new brake pads. So you find the right adapter plate that fits the piston that is on this vehicle. So that will fit right into here. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to mount this. I'm going to take one of the screws, and so this thing is held. I'm going to put that screw in to the bracket to hold this in place. put this in place, align it with the piston. Make sure everything's lined up. And simply rotate the T-handle and it will screw that piston back into place. On this one, we use a 7/8 wrench to keep adjusting the back plate out. Just go until it stops. No need to put an extra pressure on it. You don't want to smash that boot that's on there, or that dust seal. Just be careful with that. Make sure that's clean and not broken. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and grease up the outside of the pads, mainly where the caliper touches these surfaces, and then the piston itself. Now, I'll use quite a bit on here because I have it. So I have this temporary setup, so I'll take this bolt back off. So I have this, piston's been pushed back, I have grease on all the surfaces, and gently slide this down. I'm going to push these pins in to make some space. Slide that over. Put two 14mm bolts in, just hand tighten. Back up, check your torque specifications for the proper torquing. And if you like this video, just go ahead and hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll probably be making more stuff like this. There you go, got the new brake pads on. We'll put the wheel on, go for a test drive, make sure everything's working properly. Alright, I'm just finishing this up. I'll put the links down below on those brake pads. There'll be an Amazon link so you guys can order those if you want to. They were like 48 bucks. They came on the same day. So, depending on what you need, I thought that was a pretty good deal.